Yo, what's up? This is the bad boy Alexander. Today's YouTube video is going to be a very special YouTube video for my audience on YouTube, of course, on my secondary channel. And that video today is going to be called Sex with Bad Girls. Woo! So, a lot of you guys need to ask yourself a question. How does a guy become a bad boy? Now, I already made two videos called The Bad Boy Effect, and I turned around and made a video called Sex with Stepmom and Stepdaughter, and I talked about in that particular story. But what we don't ask ourselves is what happens when a guy meets a girl and she's a bad girl. Now, this happens to guys that are in high school and in college, and I'm here to break down how this actually happens. Now, there's three girls that you meet in high school and college and throughout your life. Girl number one is the good girl. Number two is the bad girl. And number three is the slut. Now, the slut is the second girl that gets you into the most trouble. But the bad girl is the number one girl who gets you into the most bullshit that you possibly could imagine and you possibly could dream. Now, the bad girl is not like any other girl you've ever met. You know those songs where they tell you this is the girl you do not bring home to mother? This is the girl you go out and have fun with, but this is not the girl that you should fall in love with and create a relationship. Well, about 16 years ago, there's this book writer, this book author, who wrote this book called, I think it's called The Definition Guide to Why Men Like Women as Bitches, Part 1 and Part 2. I think the person made two books trying to prove that men bitch and complain about women acting like a stuck-up bitch, all stank with it, all skank with it. But if you complaining about a girl being a drama queen, why you keep going back to the girl that is a drama queen? Why you keep going back to the girl that hurts you over and over and over again like a painful cycle? And you break up with this girl, you get back together. You break up with this girl, you get back together. You do it a total of 5 to 10 times. You're breaking up with the same girl, and you have the same complaints. And in the book, the girl want to say that the vast majority of men, as in 80% of us, are hypocrites because we say, "Oh, she act like a bitch. She got a stank ass attitude. She's unsatisfying. She's an ungrateful little brat." And the lady says in the book that if that is so true about women, then why you keep coming back to the woman? And she came up with some reasons on why she think that is. And I decided my version, I would explain to you that the bad girl, you find her physically, sexually attractive 99.99% of the time. You find her physically, sexually attractive. Big breasts, those nice thighs, that big ass. She might have nice curly hair or straight hair or whatever, and you just find her physically, sexually attractive. This is the girl who ditches all her classes. This is the girl that you see after school smoking cigarettes, smoking weed, drinking alcohol, hanging out with the fast crowd. And you're that nice guy that thinks he's got a chance to change her and make her into an honest woman. But you have yet to find out that no matter what you say and no matter what you do, it's never going to ever actually work. And you're hearing it from the bad boy, because you said I got the leather jacket on, I got the fresh haircut, the fresh shave, and the sunglasses. The only thing I'm missing is a motorcycle. And I promise you, somewhere in the near future, once I've got my car, I'll save up maybe $15,000, maybe $25,000 in 5 years or something like that. And I'll come back with a motorcycle and show you the bad boy effect. Yeah, perhaps you've seen my YouTube videos on YouTube, Part 1 and Part 2 of The Bad Boy Effect. Yeah, I know some of you guys are probably scratching your heads like, what the hell is this jackass doing early in the morning making videos with a leather jacket on and a sunglasses. Gotta make sure there ain't no boogers in my nose, because you know we might have some fine ass women on here that might watch this and go, God damn it, take the boogers out your goddamn nose. It's the bad boy effect. I don't go to work until 3 o'clock. When you're a bad boy, they like to fuck with your time and fuck with your money. If you're a good little boy, you know, they won't fuck with your money and they won't fuck with your time. It's the bad boy effect. Now back to the video. Now, like I was saying in this video, that a lot of times you think you can change this woman. You know, you've seen it in these movies, these television shows, you read it in these books, you read some crap online, and you think you can change this woman. But there is no changing this woman. This woman's damaged. This woman's beyond repair. This woman is forever damaged. You just don't want to accept the reality of this shit. You just don't want to take a look in that mirror and realize that maybe just this one time you fucked up. Maybe just this one time you made a terrible mistake. Maybe you try to convince yourself, oh, no, it's just all in my head. It's just a coincidence. It'll pass. She'll change. I'll show the whole world. They'll see. Foolish, wishing, thinking, nice guy. Very wishful thinking. Very foolish. Very stupid, delusional behavior to think that way. This is the girl that gets you in trouble. You know, she gets you smoking cigarettes. You ever ask yourself, how does a bad boy smoke cigarettes? Well, some bad boys learn how to smoke cigarettes or smoke weed or, you know, dangerous drug substance because they were one time messing with a bad girl. Now you went from you don't smoke to you smoke. Same thing with alcohol. Normally you don't drink alcohol, but she's got you drinking alcohol. And normally you don't drive motorcycles, but now you drive a motorcycle. Without a helmet, of course. I did it a couple of times when I was 15, 16 years old, and you know, my mom and her fiance agreed that it was too dangerous for me to drive a baby moped, motorcycle, or whatever the hell you call that shit, without a helmet, because I would try to copy Evel Knievel. They thought I was fucking insane, basically. So they took my baby motorcycle from me because I thought I was Evel Knievel. So they took it from me. The point is, now you're driving the motorcycle. She take you to the bar and you try to beat her in how many shots you can drink. But you're getting your ass whooped. She beats you in drinking 5 shots. You can't even finish the first shot of tequila. But she drinks 5 shots and you get your ass kicked. You try to stand up to a guy that's 6'6", you know, 245, maybe 250, Big John. You think you can punch Big John like you see in those movies and those television shows. But Big John picks up your small little nice guy ass and throw your ass halfway across the damn room. You can't fight Big John. But somehow she kicks Big John in the balls and Big John goes down for the count. She does it with one fucking blow. You hitting Big John everywhere but the balls. And you're not tall enough to hit Big John in the chin, so you're just getting your ass whooped. You try to play pool. You don't even know the object of the game, but you'll play anyway. And you get your ass kicked again. You lose all your fucking money. And here the bad girl comes to save the day. She got to be the one to help get your money back. Now this sounds embarrassing. Then you see there's biker guys dressed like me, of course, you know, and you can't believe this is the type of group that she hangs out with. You know, you're not used to this. You're used to playing computer games. You're used to, you know, going to the park and reading a book and drawing art and poetry. You're used to that, but you're not used to being surrounded by, you know, these hard roughnecks. You know, these guys that are known for getting in trouble with the law, which, by the way, you are going to get in trouble with the law because she gonna have you prove your loyalty to her, and you're gonna do it because you find her physically, sexually attractive. But you don't realize what this is gonna do to you in the future. You haven't caught on to what it's gonna do. But the sex is great. I gotta be honest in this video. You might get into a lot of trouble with the law, but the sex is off the hinge. I mean, the sex is a bitch. I mean, she'll make you have sex on top of the table. I'm talking about the table bar. She'll have you screw her on top of a pool table. You know how when they play pool, you'll be hitting it on the pool table. Hell, you'll probably try to screw her on a motorcycle if you don't get caught by the police. You might even go as far as to go to the bathroom and bang her in the bathroom, which, again, if you don't get caught, you'll be surprised how much of a freak that the bad girl is. In fact, the bad girl will go as far as to strip naked on top of a pool table if you win the pool game. And then somebody will have a camera and they'll record this shit, because they always do. And she'll be drunk on alcohol and you'll be drunk on alcohol, but when you wake up in the morning, it ain't her that's in the jail cell, it's you in the jail cell. You know, and if this is on the countryside, then, you know, Officer Bob will probably be looking at you like, yeah, you motherfucker. You got drunk again, didn't you? I told you don't make me come down there and arrest your ass, but you did anyway. And you did this for a girl? You dumb son of a bitch. And now your ass, you gotta look at the judge. Now you get community service. But you don't realize what this is gonna do to you later. So you don't see this girl for about 5 months, 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, because you thought, okay, maybe I need some time to myself to think about what I've done. But she pops back up. And the reason why you can't turn her away is because she's too much fun for you. You never have somebody get you out of your comfort zone and out of your shell and make you have all this type of fun. You know, you've been exposed to different things that you were never exposed to before. But you start to do what every single man does. Complain that she's a bitch. She got the stank attitude. She rolling her eyes. She won't stop smoking and drinking. She doing drugs. She dressed sexually provocative. You ever wonder why when you see these all-girls schools that all those girls that you see in that school for all girls, I'm willing to bet my money that 99.99% of the time, those are the bad girls. Those are the girls that got caught at, 16, 17, 18, 19 years old, smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, and dressing very sexually provocative, not wearing their panties and they bra. And yeah, they lose their virginity. But here's the sad truth for the nice guys. You nice guys, you keep trying to save these women. You don't want to listen to us bad boys here who try to tell you you should just have fun and take it with great strides. But a lot of you nice guys have this thing where you feel like you got to save the day like a superhero. And then you find out that that's just going to get you more pain. You know that song called Bad to the Bone, where the guy in that country song explains how he turned into a bad boy? That it all started with him falling in love with the wrong woman. And it happened a second time. It happened a third time. And then he said he broke 1,000 hearts before he met you. And then he says, I'm going to break 1,000 more after you. Well, guess what? A lot of us experience that exactly in that song. When he says, I'm going to tell it to you, I was bad to the bone. Well, a lot of men experience what being bad to the bone is. And I'm here to tell you that in some cases, not all cases, but in some cases, a good guy mess with a bad girl. Usually after he fall in love, well, I would probably say about 3, maybe 4, maybe 5 or 6 bad girls in his lifetime. You think you go to the good girl, but the problem is, by the time you get to the quote-unquote good girl, you've already become the bad boy. But the sad reality and the truth is, you don't even realize that you've become the bad boy. I mean, I'm serious. You don't become fully aware of this until you're like 25, 26, 27. By the time you get 30, 32, or 33, by the time you get to those ages, you're not even aware that you've already turned into the bad boy. Now, the good girl finds the bad boy physically, sexually attractive for the same reasons. You get the girl that's in her prime when you turn into a bad boy. And when you're a good boy, you get the bad girl. Problem is you don't know what to do to keep her around because you're so goody two-shoes. And see, I made this video for men from the age of 18 to 29 years old. You know, the reason why the video is entitled Sex with Bad Girls is because there are a lot of guys that have this obsession. You're intrigued by a girl like this. I'm telling you, if you don't smoke, a woman will have you smoking cigarettes and smoking weed. If you don't drink alcohol, when the bad girl get done with you, you will be drinking alcohol. And if you don't get in trouble with the law, she will get you in trouble with the law. And it's the same thing in high school and college. You'll get, suspended, maybe kicked out of school. And if you have a job, which I feel sorry for a lot of you nice guys, if you have a job, don't be surprised or shocked that I told you in this video, because you're hearing it from a bad boy from me, that you get called into H&R not once, not twice, but probably 3 to 4 times, and somewhere around in there, you're probably going to hear the word "you're fired." Like if you remember when Vince McMahon would come on Monday Night Raw and just yell in your face, "You're fired," it'll probably be something like that. And you see, I made this video because some guys can't make the distinction between girls that are good, girls that are slutty, and girls that are bad. There's 3 types of girls you meet in high school, college, and in work throughout life. See, the good girl is the good girl that you see in the movies and the television shows. But we all know in secrecy, the good girl is actually the good hoe. We know the slut likes to socialize with everyone. The slut, you see her everywhere. Basketball games, football games, baseball games, soccer tournaments. You see her on the back of a guy's motorcycle. You see her in a car. You see the slut everywhere. But the bad girl is the bad girl you don't pay attention to. The bad girl pops out of nowhere and you get taken for a nice roller coaster ride. And even when you say, "I want the ride to stop," deep down inside, you don't want the ride to stop. And people will tell you, stay away from this girl. And I feel like somebody don't tell you guys the signs that you're dealing with a bad girl, so I have to do it. The first sign you get is when everyone tells you she's bad news, stay away from her. She's a drama queen. That's the first sign you're dealing with a bad girl. The second sign is when she got you smoking and drinking when you normally don't smoke and drink. You're doing drugs when you normally don't do drugs. She got you hanging out with guys that the law considers a menace to society when you normally wouldn't hang out with these types of guys. But there is one thing that I can say for sure. Is that the vast majority of men are hypocritical when they complain, "Oh, she act like a bitch. She stuck up." Yeah, but that sex was so great last night that you don't complain about that sex. Yeah, that's why I put it in the video. Another thing I gotta put in the video is that if you ever have trouble, you need to call this number. You need to call 8100 Bad Boy Effect. I want to say it again. 8100 Bad Boy Effect. Yeah, people, you heard me. 8100 Bad Boy Effect. I promise you, by the end of the day, or in 7 to 8 months, I will have girls talk about you on social media. I will have women complain to other women and to other men at their job that you're an asshole, and your value will go from being absolutely 0.00% to 80% in 8 to 9 months. I guarantee you in 2 to 3 years, when you get the leather jacket, the sunglasses like this, and the motorcycle, the same girl that bitches and complains about you being a bad boy is the same girl who comes after you with her hypocrite ass. Remember, some women contradict themselves. They'll say one thing, but their action says another thing. Now, I made this video in some comedy, but I also was being serious in this video. And I know some people are probably going to be laughing their ass off, spitting out their Pepsi, their Coca-Cola, their Sprite, or their 7-Up, or their Mountain Dew, or their apple juice, or their orange juice, or spit out their water, or their tea, or their coffee, and go, "This guy made a video early in the morning with a leather jacket on, an expensive as $100 leather jacket with some sunglasses, and doing a parody of a character from a movie." Yeah, it's YouTube. I gotta have some fun. It's 2019. I gotta switch up the concept of the videos. So I didn't want to make this video too long or too short. But yeah, the bad girl will blow your mind. The bad girl will have you do things that you didn't think you could do before. I'm telling you, the bad girl is more fun than the good girl. And the bad girl is the first girl who gets you into a lot of trouble. So if you ever see those girls in a all girls school, they're not there because they have trouble with reading and writing, and they don't know their math and their science. They don't know their history and their health. They know their math and science. They know their history and their science. They know their English. That's not why they're there. They're there because they got in trouble a total of 5 to 10 times, and every school they go to, they get kicked out of that school. I met at least 5 girls that were like that. That I knew a girl that was actually 15 or 16 years old, and she got caught smoking cigarettes in the girls' restroom. Got suspended 3 times. The 4th time, they just expelled her and kicked her out of school. And then I don't see her for a long time. And then, you know, by the time I was a senior, or should I say a junior getting ready to turn into a senior, I saw her across the street at an all-girls school. And she was smoking cigarettes. She was smoking weed, drinking alcohol, and she didn't have any panties and no bra. And she got kicked out of that reform school because she got into so many fights, beating other girls' asses and stealing their boyfriend, that she would actually pay somebody a lot of money to record the shit, and then she would just beat up the girl while it's being recorded. And, you know, they didn't tolerate that at the reform school, so she got kicked out of that, and they had to send her to another reform school. This one, it was like a military reform school for all girls. So I thought I'd make the video because nobody on YouTube really is going to make these types of videos. And who knows, maybe later today or maybe tomorrow on my day off, I make another self-improvement video. What's the difference between being rich and famous versus self-improvement? But in this video, I just wanted to talk about it. If you see a schoolgirl, 9 times out of 10, it ain't because she can't do her math and her English and her history and her science. A lot of times it has something to do with her getting into trouble and breaking the rules. And a lot of us men fall in love with bad girls, and we complain that they act like a bitch. They get the roll in their eyes, they snapping their fingers. We complain that they're a drama queen, but the sex be so damn mind-blowing that we don't complain about the sex. And sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, this is how a nice guy becomes a bad boy. That's why you see the leather jacket. That's why you see the sunglasses. And like I said before, call 8100 the bad boy effect. That's 8100 bad boy effect. And I promise you, in 8 to 9 months, I will have women talk about you on social media. I'll have women talking to their other girlfriends and male friends at their job about how much of a bad boy you are. And maybe in 2 to 3 years, you actually get laid as a result of it. So this video is supposed to be words of encouragement. Try your best to stay away from the bad girls. And trust me, guys say all the time, oh, I'll never fall in love with a bad girl. And then you know what happens in high school, college, at work, on the road. And then, yeah, you're in a world of hurt. So until then, peace.